Alright, so the last video that I did for my script pack, I noticed a lot of issues with it. Um, the quality was horrible, the day and night cycle was annoying, and there were just a lot of small problems with it. So I decided to redo the video. So we're going to start off where we started off last time, and that's the grid generator. The grid generator was one of the most advanced scripts that I made for this pack, and I even included an editor for it, which you can see right there. Most of the options are pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to show you it generating on this terrain, and then I'll pause the video and generate it on a larger terrain. So let me find my scene. Alright, you can see the green box and all the green lines that are on this terrain. The green box is the how far the grid will go, the maximum that the grid will expand to, and the green lines are the grid, the green boxes. So I'm just going to reset this one that I currently have and regenerate it. And right as soon as I right click on the scene, it's there, it's done, it's been generated. The options, you can read through them on the documentation. I'm going to go through them quickly. You have what game objects you want it to apply to, if you want the grid to float, if you want to check for height, and if you want to check for the slope of the points. So next we're going to go on to the building manager. This has a lot of options that I'm probably not going to have time for. So I'm just going to go through them fast. You have the resources, the name of the resource, the amount, and all the resource GUI options, all the category options, what building you want, the transparent version of the building, or the version of the building that does not stay on the ground when you place it, when you're moving it around, that gets deleted. The grid that you want it to apply to, the width of the building and the depth, and how many resources you want this to affect, the current resource that you're changing, and the amount of resource that it costs. You also have the building GUI option, the air material, and the transparent material, and you'll see all these options, how they work when we go and run the scene. Alright, next we're going to go on to cursor manager, which I have two cursors here, the normal cursor and the current. Well, this option is actually, you don't really need to set it, but you have the normal cursor, and this script is affected by the cursor message script, and all you need to do is set what cursor you want that one to change to, and it'll change to it, and then when you move off of the object, it'll change back to the arrow, or it'll change back to your normal cursor. Next, the day and night cycle. This is a pretty simple script. It rotates the 2-point lights on a 360-degree axis on the y-axis, I think. No, on the, I'd say x-axis. And it'll just continuously rotate at the certain speed that you set. Next, we'll go on to units. The units come with a lot of options, but with that, there are a lot of variables that you need to set. The skin, the selection, the health textures above them, a lot of other things that you can read right here if you pause the video. So I'm probably not going to go through all those, and I'm just going to show you them in real time. We're going to go on to the last, we're going to go on to the camera controls. Alright, so we have camera movement here, and then this is just an empty game object that is placed at the camera's position, and then you have the actual camera object, which is using camera zoom. The camera options are pretty simple. You can just look through them right here. I'm actually going to change this to 0.5. You can just read them right here. I'll show you all the options in the scene. and the camera zoom, which again is pretty self-explanatory. Alright, so I'm just going to play the scene now. Here are your resources. These can be moved around on the screen. Well, actually, I did forget one thing, the seed generator, which is right below the grid generator. This seeds objects randomly on the map. I'm going to show it to you real quick. Alright, there's the grid right there. There's the object that I'm seeding. Seed, done. Alright, now here are all the objects. They will be placed in a folder, depending on what you name them, right down here. And if you don't want those objects to be there anymore, you can just delete them. All of the grid points that they were at, that they were affecting, were set to false. They were closed. They're no longer active. So if you delete it, you can go to grid generator and go to rescan, and it'll just make those active again. So I'm just going to show you it in real time now. Here's a seed. I set it to seed on start, so it'll just seed it right when the scene begins. I'm just going to show you the options for the building manager. I'm holding shift right now, that way I don't have to go back. This is without holding shift. Right clicking, which deletes what you're currently doing right there, and rotation of the building. It rotates on a 360 degrees on the y-axis. And you can see the resources. I have the resources source script on these, which will give them resources at certain times. I think I have 10 resources every 5 seconds on these. Woodcutters, which give you wood, and these are all applying to this grid right here, which is the terrain grid. And next I'm going to go over the water grid using the port object that I made. It's pretty simple. And here's showing how many objects that it can affect. It can affect as many resources as you want. This is 4, affecting all of them with 100. There you go. Unit selection, selecting them, moving them around. These do not include object avoidance, but they will include paths, which you can interrupt it anyway just by right clicking, and you can set their path by holding shift. You can group them by holding shift and pressing 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 1 through 9 you can press. I'm just going to select these two, go shift 1 to override it, hit 1, there they are. I'll select this one just by clicking on it, shift 2, 2, there you go. If you have them all selected and you want to go to them, you can hit F, and it'll take you to them. I'll separate them for you to show you better. Alright, so if I have them all selected, F, F, yep, and it goes to them. Now I'm going to show you the camera controls. Zooming, I've been using them throughout this video. Zooming, WASD, corner movement, right mouse button. This I set it up to a little bit high on the sensitivity, so it's kind of easy to do. But the day and night cycle has been playing all throughout this scene. It's a little hard to notice since I have it set to a low speed. I know that's one of the things that was probably annoying with the last video, so I just redid it. I lowered it, and that is all of the functions that my real-time strategy pack include, or most of the functions that my real-time strategy pack includes. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.